All right, at this time, we welcome Dr. Adizes.
Hello, namaste, shalom, peace. We have a very, very important subject to cover in the next half an hour, which really requires more than half an hour. But we'll do the best we can. Why is it such an important subject? I don't think I'm saying anything new if I say that there is change. It started with a big bang thousands of years ago. Nothing new. Well, there is something new. Because humanity is experiencing, the planet as a matter of fact, that's not humanity, experiencing a rate of change unprecedented in the history of the world. Unprecedented rate of change. Driven by technology. There are more scientists alive today than accumulatively in the history of mankind. Tremendous amount of change. So what? Well, what is change? Change means that something new is happening. And now you have to decide, what is that new that is happening? What is new? Everything in this world is a system. You as a human being, you are a system. A family is a business. A country is a business. A company is a business. Is a system. The globe, planet, is a system called an ecosystem. By definition, every system is comprised of subsystems. A company has a marketing subsystem, sales subsystem, production subsystem, financial, human capital subsystems. A human being, you have the nervous subsystem, the blood flow subsystem, the respiratory subsystem, etc. And a country has the legal subsystem, the economic subsystem, the technological subsystem, the social subsystem. So what? When there is change, the subsystems do not change in the same speed. In a company, marketing changes relatively fast. Oh, we change the advertising, we change the message, we change the price. How long does it take to change the sales effort? A little bit longer. How long does it take to change the production to adapt to the changes? Wow. Longer. How long does it take to change the people? Information systems and people. People is the most difficult one to change. Because the subsystems do not change at the same speed, it creates gaps, cracks in the system. The system gets disintegrated. And the higher is the rate of change, the faster it gets disintegrated. Show me a house in a climate that has a lot of changes, cold, hot changes a lot, requires more maintenance. The higher is the rate of change, the faster is a disintegration. And the disintegration is manifested in what we call a problem. I have a problem. Production is a problem, matching sales. Sales is a problem, matching marketing. Finance says, wait a moment, we don't have the money. So hear me well. Change means disintegration. Disintegration means problems. And the faster is a change, the faster is a disintegration, the faster are the problems attacking us. And that's called stress. You have to solve the problems. You have to decide what to do. And that means uncertainty. You don't always have all the information. And if you implement the decision, there is a risk. It might not work. So you are there stressed. What should I do? Should I take the risk? I should not take the risk. Oh my God. So what has change done to us? Increased our rate of stress exponentially. There is more stress, probably, in New York City than in North Dakota or Montana because of rate of change. And the disintegration is manifested. Companies fall apart. All these companies in search of excellence, they were considered the excellent companies. Many of them are not around anymore. Countries are falling apart. Look what happened to the Soviet Union. Look what happened to Yugoslavia. Families are falling apart. There is more divorce in New York than in North Dakota. The higher is the rate of change, the more disintegration. And people are falling apart. The biggest disease of modern world is depression. Fastest mental disease growing in the world. Depression, developed world. Underdeveloped, they don't have time to be depressed, they have to survive. The more developed, which means the more change, the more people mentally sick. Or they escape to drugs. What does it mean? Because of technology, because of the advancements in science, our standard of living has gone up. Our quality of life has gone down. We are much more stressed than our grandparents. Our grandparents lived shorter life, true. Lower standard of living, but you know what? They were happier. There was a certain level of stability, predictability. The family was predictable. Hierarchy was known. You knew who wore the pants. In today's world, I really am not so sure. Sometimes I think my kids wear the pants. They're telling me what to do because they know more about computers and more about iPhones and more about technology than I know. I'm the idiot. They are the knowledgeable. Hear me well. The world is falling apart. We are falling apart as human beings. Our families are falling apart. Companies are falling apart. It is COVID. Think about COVID. You think COVID is something new? It has been here from the Big Bang. It's not created. Why is it expressing itself now? Our body cannot catch up with all the changes, with the quality of the water we drink, the quality of food we eat, the quality of air we breathe. The sunshine is damaging us. Very soon they say you're not going to be able to go out to the street, out of the house, because you can get cancer, because the sun is penetrating the whatever it's the layers that are protecting and damaging us. What to do? What to do? If change causes disintegration, disintegration gives birth to problems, which gives birth to stress and disintegration of a human being, companies, countries, etc. What's the solution? Stop change. Stop change, no more. And that, by the way, what some religions are trying to do. All the fanatic religions are trying to stop change. Fanatic Muslims, fanatic Jewish, fanatic Christians. Stop change. Is that the solution? No. Nobody in the history, study history, Nobody in the history of mankind succeeded to stop change. They tried to stop innovation, technological innovation in England. It started in America. They missed it. Nobody can stop change. Middle Ages, okay, so for a certain period of time there was a stop, but then it erupted in the Renaissance. They will not succeed. They might retard, but they cannot stop. So we need to learn how to manage change. We don't have a choice. Or we'll fall apart. Our families will fall apart. Our companies will fall apart. We will fall apart as human beings. We need integration. What does it mean? What does it mean, integration? What should they do tomorrow? Look at the history of mankind. We started as, if you're Darwinian, as chimpanzees. The strongest chimpanzee was a leader. Then we're a nomadic society. The best hunter was a leader. Then we became an agricultural society. The one with the most sheep and cows and land was the leader. Common denominator, muscles, power, possession, the more the better. By the way, which gave birth to an economic theory which promoted colonialism. The more land I have, the more assets I have, the more markets I have, the stronger I am. That was the imperialism and colonialism based on that conceptual framework, mindset, that more is better. We still have part of it, economic growth, constantly measuring economic growth. Although more is not better, we are destroying the environment. We are destroying ourselves. More is not better, enough. We have to change from more is better to better is more, to quality of life and not to standard of living. Be less is better. Simple life is better. That came the Industrial Revolution. And what happened? Muscles was not good enough anymore. Strength was not good enough. We needed brain. We needed to plan budgets, hiring people, organizing supply chain, management, brain. Today we live in what's called the post-industrial society. And what's most important is not the muscle. In industrial society, it was muscle and brain. You see, muscle before, then came the brain, and now we had muscle and brain. Empires, the strongest, the most with possession, the best. That's a success. Now we live in a post-industrial, where brain is everything, muscle is not so important anymore. Some of the most valuable companies on the stock exchange market have no assets, no physical assets. Airbnb, the biggest hotel in the world, does not own one hotel. What do they have? Computer information. The largest transportation company in the world does not own one car. Taxis. Uber. What do they have? Computer information. Today, success is in the brain. What does Amazon have? An incredible brain system. What are they collecting? Information and artificial intelligence to manage that information. Same thing with Facebook. Same thing with Google. All of you businessmen, watch it. If you do not digitalize your company, develop databases and manage information, you're outdated, you're going to be killed. Brain is the power. Well, my dear brothers and sisters, the brain is on its way out too. with artificial intelligence, with quantum computers. They're going to replace our brain, physical brain. Even today, I have some of my students in university. You ask them, how much is 7 times 9? They say, where is my calculator? They don't know. They need a calculator. They have to ask Siri. We're relying more and more on computers, not thinking anymore. So what's the future? What is the future after the brain? Went from muscle to brain. Now what's the future? Look at the future. They say that they're going to put a chip into your brain so you don't have Alzheimer anymore, connect you to the cloud, and that's it. By the way, don't even have to talk. My chip will talk to your chip. Then you have artificial heart, mechanical heart, and mechanical kidney, and mechanical knees. What is a human being now? What is a human being? Consciousness, soul, the heart. If we do not develop the heart, consciousness, we are doomed. We are doomed as a society, as a humanity. Nazi Germany was not a fluke in the history of mankind. Highly educated, powerful people, no heart. Is that our future? Is that our future? That's why I say to Daji, our master, India should be the beacon to the world. Yoga, meditation. Now why? What is absolute integration? We already said we need integration to overcome the disintegration caused by change that cannot be stopped. What is absolute integration? No boundaries of time and space. Love. Consciousness of love, love consciousness, which supposedly dwells in the heart. Heart is a symbol of love. Absolute integration. And it's not strange that diamond is a symbol of love. It's the most integrated mineral there is, diamond. Total integration. That's what love is about. Unless we develop our consciousness of love, the disintegration is going to destroy us, destroy our families, destroy our grandchildren. It's imperative we develop our heart and our consciousness of love. That's what's going to save humanity. That's what's going to solve humanity. Now let's talk about, well, how do we do it? How do we do it? So it's not just empty words. Love each other, good, let's go home and have a meal and fight. I mean, how do we do that? That's what I spent 50 years of my life on. How to bring love to companies. And by the way, don't talk about it because I would never make a cent if I went to companies and say, I sell love. They say, go home. Tell us how to make more money. I make them more money with love without realizing that that's what they're doing. At the back is love. If you love what you do, the more love you have in your life, the more integrated you are with what you do. And the more integrated you are, the less energy is wasted. When there is disintegration, you're wasting a lot of energy. What should I do? Who am I? Where am I going? Why is it happening to me? You're disconnected. It takes your energy. That's why you're exhausted. And when you're together, you're full with energy. When you do what you love, you have so much energy, don't you? Keeps you young. Hate will make you old. So let's go. We have 10 minutes. How do we make that happen? And what does it mean to peace? Important. Would you agree with me? Nobody is perfect. So to manage change, you have to make decisions. You cannot make decisions alone. Nobody is perfect. You're not perfect either. Welcome to the club. So what do you need? A complementary team. Look at your marriage. Look at your spouse. You married somebody who's different than you are. Why? Because to raise children, we need a complementary team. You cannot easily raise your children alone, single parent. You cannot be a mama and a papa at the same time. We need both feminine and masculine energy. I'm not talking about sex organs. I'm talking about energies. We need complementary team to make good decisions. Oops, the moment you have a complementary team, which means we are different, what's going to happen? Conflict. To implement the decision, we need the cooperation of the people whom we need. Why should they cooperate? Because they have common interest. Do we have common interest? Often we don't. So that's another source of conflict. Conflict of interest. So you have a conflict of personalities, what you look at, what triggers your thinking, and conflict of interest. Wow. The more change, the more conflict. That's why things are falling apart. So now, what does it mean, love, integration? How do we integrate a complementary team, and how do we integrate common interests? That is the purpose. To integrate diversity of styles, diversity of nationalities if you are looking at the world, diversity of religions if you are looking at the world, any diversity, social diversity. We need to have mutual respect. Look at this. This is a symbol. You see it everywhere, in all religions. The saints are standing like this. What do you see? Different fingers together. That's a blessing. Different fingers together. If they are together and there is mutual respect, we learn from each other. And as we learn from each other differences, there is synergy. And when it's synergy, it's constructive. And when it's constructive, it's integrated. You get integration through mutual respect. You don't get integration, real integration, sustainable integration, successful constructive integration, unless there is mutual respect. And that's what happens with all those religions that say, we are going to be together by being the same. So if you're not a Muslim, we behead you. If you're not Christian, Inquisition. If you're not Jewish, then we negate you. We don't eat with you. Here it is. Together, the same. Paralysis. We are talking about together, different. Accepting, valuing, appreciating differences because we learn from differences. But what keeps them together? Why should they be together? Because they benefit what everybody contributes. That's why there is a hand. Each one contributes to the hand. There is symbiosis. Energy is constructive when there is synergy and symbiosis. Symbiosis is why are we synergetic? Because we benefit. But that will happen only if there is mutual trust. Because I contribute to the system and I trust that the system will benefit me. Otherwise, I'm not going to contribute. If there is corruption, I'm not paying taxes. Why should I pay taxes to a corrupt government? They steal from me, I steal from them. My dear friends, what is total integration? Love. What is integration? Conscious energy. What kind of an energy? What kind of a conscious? Loving energy. What is loving energy? Based on mutual trust and respect. So what is peace? Coming to peace. Unity. It's not disunity, my dear friends. This is a disaster because there is no mutual trust and respect. You remove mutual trust and respect, and what do you get? Destructive energy. We are not respecting our environment. We're destroying the environment. We're destroying the physical world we live in. And what's happening? Floods, diseases, you name it. It's falling apart. Peace, love, means united diversity based on mutual trust and respect. It is inclusive prosperity. There is prosperity because of symbiosis, because of synergy, but it is, there is success because of synergy, growth, prosperity because of synergy, but it's inclusive. We want integrated interests with diversity that is honored and respected because we learn from each other. Peace is not sameness. Peace is harmony. Pay attention to the word harmony. Different voices creating the harmony. If they are all singing the same voice, it's not harmony. So if God is love, and love is based on mutual trust and respect, there is no love unless there is respect for differences and there is trust that there is common interest. There is faith that there is common interest in spite of our differences. So if God is love and love is mutual trust and respect, what is God's will? What does love mean? Respect each other's difference and share the benefits you create together. Unless we create that kind of a climate, that kind of a system which is not exploitative. We live in an exploitative world. We are still in the Stone Age. The more the better, the more the better, the more the better. Better is more. More respect and trust. More love. More constructive consciousness. God is, to me, is not a father in heaven looking down saying, no, 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 you bad boys, if you don't behave, I will bring floods on you. This is the legacy of Zeus on the mountain. Enough. To me, God is a conscious, value-loaded energy, loving energy. Energy that promotes mutual trust and respect. So what's God's will? Recognize each other's differences and share what you create together. Remove mutual trust and respect. You're removing God. You're removing love. And what do you get? The devil. And many of these exclusive religions, exclusive political ideologies, no, take the religions, in the name of God, they are serving the devil. Because they don't recognize diversity and they don't recognize the commonality of interest. We all want peace. In peace, there is no more stress. It's harmony, peacefulness. And let me finish that peace and love should start with ourselves first. That's why meditation. Not to get attached, to recognize differences, to recognize problems, let them pass. In meditation, you experience tolerance, patience. You experience peacefulness in the middle of a turmoil. It starts with you. And as you find tolerance, self-respect, you have problems, well, you look at the problems, let them pass. Don't get attached. What are you doing? Respect. And trust yourself. Anytime you say yes to somebody else, to something you don't believe in, you're saying no to yourself. Do you trust yourself? Do you respect yourself? Next, is there respect and trust in your family? That's called love. It's absolute respect and absolute trust is love. But love without knowing what to do might end up this way, serving the devil in the name of love. Promote mutual respect and trust. Nourish mutual trust and respect. Ask yourself in your family, what causes disrespect? What causes mistrust? Forbidden. That's how you raise your children. To have self-esteem, to trust and respect themselves. Same thing with your own personal life. What causes you to disrespect yourself, that you feel guilty and accusatory of yourself? Remove it. What causes you not to trust yourself? Remove it. Love yourself, love your family, bring mutual trust and respect to your company, which is bringing love, bringing peace, bringing harmony. And the same thing on a country level. And hopefully, if we work hard enough from the inside out, we might bring peace to the world, or we are doomed. And this pandemic is a sign of disintegration, and it's another call. Get united, or we will destroy you. Thank you. Namaste. And may God's will be with us.
Thank you, Dr. Adizes, for your words. We are getting a lot of questions for you. We don't have time for everyone. So I just want to say first, thank you everyone for submitting questions. And let me just jump in. We're getting a lot of the similar questions on how to deal with the pressure in the workplace. How should sensitive people deal with leadership roles?
Okay. Let's start with leadership. The book that I want to send you, I was thinking to send you The Ideal Executive, but with your permission, I have a better idea. I just finished a book, what they call symbiotic leadership, which comes from the words symbiosis and synergy. A leader that creates symbiosis and synergy, which means collaborative leadership and not singular individual leader. I am the leader. We have to get out of it, guys. There is no outstanding leader. Nobody. Nobody is that good. Nobody. Even God makes mistakes, guys. He made mistakes with a big flood. He agreed he made a mistake. He brings the rainbow to remind him to stop, don't repeat the mistake. So let's get out of this single person leadership concept. My new book is called Symbiotic Leadership, the power of collaborative leadership, building a complementary team, diversity working together, like a good family is a diversity working together. So all of those that will get the book, put you on the list, and as soon as the book is printed, it will be sent to you. Or do it differently, I will do it twice. You will get the Ideal Executive, and then when the book is published, we'll give it to you too.
Thank you for that answer.
So what is a good leader? A good leader creates symbiosis and synergy in a company. How? Promotes mutual trust and respect. A good leader is a person that commands and grants respect and trust. If you're not trusted, if you're not respected, I don't care how good you are knowing financials and marketing, etc. You're not a good leader. Do people trust you? Do people respect you? Do you build trust and respect in your company? That is what leadership is in the modern world. Bring the heart to the company. Bring consciousness of love into the company. That's a good leader. Now, how to reduce stress in the workplace? Where the stress comes from? Too many conflicts. You need to look at how to align the subsystems so they don't outpace each other. Slow down and try them together. The whole idea is to advance together. It's like in the military, when the infantry is attacking, the principle is be in a straight line. Because if somebody goes too further ahead, they might shoot him by mistake. If he's left behind, he might shoot us from by mistake. Together, advance together. Pay attention. Who is behind? How do we bring them together? Don't go too far ahead. Alignment. That's how you reduce stress. Because if you are growing disintegrated, it increases your stress at workplace. And you don't only integrate the company, integrate yourself, your time, how much time for the family, how much time for the career, how much time for your own personal needs. Align them too. So the secret of reduction of stress is alignment. Alignment of your needs, managing your time, managing your priorities correctly.
Thank you, Dr. Adizes, for that response. Next question, we're getting several questions about how do we support youth and teenagers in discovering this process of integration?
Wonderful question. Wonderful question. Because the youth are the future of mankind. And if you don't focus on what the youth are doing, that tells you what the future is. Like you can tell the future political system or economic system by watching the students, what are they demonstrating about. These are the future leaders. Everything starts at the university. So tell me what you do with the kids and I will tell you what it's going to look like. There is a lot here to be done. I've been lecturing like crazy all over the world to universities. We are training people wrong. We're teaching them to know. Whatever you teach them, within a few years, is going to be obsolete anyway. The trick is not to teach people to know, but to teach them how to learn. Lifelong learning. I would like to change all certificates that people give at universities. Don't say graduated. Graduated means they finished, God forbid. It should say permitted to continue learning, to go to the next stage of learning, continuous learning, continuous learning, continuous learning. Number one. Number two, teach them to be together, to respect each other, no bullying at school. American education is a disaster in my mind because the kids go from one class to other depending on subject. The classes do not develop social integration. Like in Europe, you go with the same class throughout the whole education. So you develop a classroom integration. Here everything is disintegrated. Here you have one class with these people, another class with these people, another class with these people. Assignments should be given to a team. Team assignments. We have to teach people how to work together. That's why sports are so important. Lifelong learning, working together with mutual trust and respect. That is what we need to develop in the next generations. And meditation is a very important component of it. Very important component of it. I must do this for a second. I kind of change how I meditate. Heartfulness. You know what I do? I start like you did with a guided meditation. But I don't just only pay attention to my muscles, to my toes. I love my toes. For 20 minutes or half an hour I'm meditating, I'm practicing love. I start with my toes, they hurt. I love you anyway. My knees hurt. I love you anyway. My lungs, I trust you. You will give me the air I need. My brain, you're fighting with each other all day long. I trust you. You will listen to each other. I spent half an hour loving myself, loving my problems I have. Do you know that some cancer you can remove by loving your cancer? Don't say, my body is giving me problems, pain. It's your pain. Whose pain is it? Your body is not somebody else, it's you. Love your body. Love your thoughts. And then expand. Now I love my family bigger, until I love the trees and the mountains and the air and the water. But start with you. Experience love. Like Chariji says, love is a muscle. Start practicing it. The more you practice, the more you have.
Thank you for that. It's the top of the hour. Dr. Adizes has graciously offered to stay a few minutes later so he can answer some more questions. If you have to drop off right now, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today.
One more question. Let's go, because we can stay here absolutely for the whole day. I know that. Go ahead. One more question.
So the next question, and you talked about meditation and you talk about what do you do, but how do we expand this idea of love into the workplace as individuals? What can we do to make a difference at work?
Look, a song is not a song unless it is heard. Love is not love unless it is experienced. And what does it mean? I already said to you, love is mutual trust and respect. And what does respect mean? To recognize the sovereignty of the other person to be different. You don't have to be like me. Why do you not think like me? Well, because you're different. We accept different faces. Why don't we accept different styles? You're experiencing love. Trust. Very important. In the Western world, we say love is give and take. That is life. Give and then you receive. Love is in the giving is a taking. It's not later. I'm rewarded in giving you. That's why you love your children. You don't expect them to pay you back later on when you get old. God forbid. You do it because you love them. Because they giggle and they're so happy. That is your reward. In the giving is a taking. So don't say give and take. Say take and give. Don't say take. It should be you first give, then you take. Give and take. By the way, in the Middle East, they don't say give and take. They say take and give. In Turkish, in Arabic. Take first, then you give. There is no trust. That's why they're in trouble. Their whole Middle East is in fire because they don't trust each other. They don't respect each other. I'm not talking about Israel. Talking among the Muslims. So when you say, how do we practice love? Give. In the giving is a taking. And give anonymously, like in the Jewish religion. Because when you give anonymously, you don't expect anything in return. You really give from your heart. Give from the heart. Respect differences. And you learn that through meditation, experientially.
We have a question regarding several questions regarding technology in this changing digital world. How do we manage through all of these changes with technology?
Technology is like a knife. You can slice bread and feed yourself with it, or you can hurt people and kill them. The technology can go both ways. Depends whether it's done with love or without love. You don't have to say hate. If it's without love, by definition, it's hate. Because love and hate are not the opposite of each other. Hate is lack of love, like darkness is lack of light. And I'm afraid that our technology is driven not by love, by materialistic needs for more is better. The more is better, more money, more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. And it's becoming a destructive technology. Not true in medical technology. Medical technology is to save people's life, to prolong their lives. Okay. But when you look at all these games we have, when children are playing how to kill, and how many people did you kill, and how many people did you destroy, what are we telling them subliminally, subconsciously? Destructive, 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 destructive. We are legitimizing destruction. Look at the movies. I cannot watch most of the American movies. Cars flying in the sky, people getting shot. I remember in high school when we went to see American movies, before we went, kids, we will have a bet. How many people are going to get killed? And then the whole movie, we sit down and count. Here's another one, 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, 15. Whoever bet the best does not pay for his ticket to the movie. We were counting how many people got killed. McNamara, Minister of Defense, Secretary of Defense of the United States during Vietnam War, was measuring success of the war every day by how many King Kongs got killed. That's how we measure success. Technology can be boon, or it will be the destruction of our humanity. It will improve our quality of standard of living and destroy humanity and who we are as human beings. We don't bring enough heart to schools, schools of engineering, schools of physics, schools of all these scientists. We don't teach them heart. They're graduating with knowledge and no heart. They can be destructive. We have to change our education system. I wish they would make meditation required subject in all schools. I wish. To experience love. I wish they would make yoga required in all schools. What is yoga? Translation of the word yoga. Unity. Meditation in motion is yoga. And as we accept our pains, and we accept ourselves, we start accepting other people. And that's where peace starts. By acceptance. By being capable of living with diversity and not being threatened by diversity, but engaging diversity because it enriches us all.